Tell the truth. Isn't just getting by like tiring mentally, emotionally, financially? Let's talk about this for a minute and some action steps we could take. Be right back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode of my channel, the Save Money More with Jan channel. How you doing today? Let's talk about being sick and tired of just getting by. Now, don't get me wrong. Just getting by to some people is a lot better. Some people are very, very much more worse off than the just getting by folks. Yeah. But all of us want to be lifted out of that just getting by. How do we do that? We need to build upon savings. We need to take some action steps to get there. How you doing today? I hope, as always, that this audio video finds everybody doing well. And if you're brand new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you've been here a while, thank you. I feel like I talk to some of you almost every single day. Which is really nice. It's so kind of you to chime in on commenting and giving useful comments. By the way, I'm going to ask you to do that right now. What is a great way to get beyond just getting by? You know, it's a really difficult period of time for many people. Those couple of days before payday, whenever your payday is, okay? So even if you get multiple streams of income, some people, despite the multiple streams of income, one stream may be a very tiny, weak stream, just trickling out of the faucet, if you will, and the other one is their main source of income. But those couple of days prior to those days, to those paydays, if you will, can be really, really hard. We want to break that cycle. What could we do? Well, recently, many people, seniors, for example, or some, other folks that are receiving it, received a cost of living adjustment increase, otherwise known as COLA. And it was to the tune of 2.5%. Not much to write home about on that one, considering the previous years. But what they do is they basically calculate the last quarter of the year, as far as I know. I don't know if I'm right on this 100%. And regarding inflation and whatever thing they put together, and then they come up with this number. So in this case, it was 2.5%. Hey, don't spend it all in one place. I know a few of you listening to this are probably laughing and crying at the same time, But if you're not sure as to what to do with it, by the way, if you're not sure as to what to do with it, that's a pretty good sign. Okay. It's a pretty good sign. If it doesn't, I would put that towards emergency food stockpiling. 2.5% that you didn't have a few weeks ago. Okay. At the time of this recording. Of course, this recording is in January of 2025. For the lucky person that might be listening to this a year later, just saying. All right, that's just one example. Windfalls. If you get any sort of actual windfall, an unexpected gift, you spent $1 on a lottery ticket and magically you won $100 on a scratcher. Hey, that's not bad. Consider the important things you could do with that $100. The action step that I'm talking about is planning ahead. Too many times people fail later on because they didn't just plan ahead for simple decisions a couple weeks back. Those couple of weeks before payday, when a person is tap city, is a very tough period of time. And you get up and you go to work every day. It's not like, like you're just, laying around, sitting back and, eating bonbons and watching soaps. You know what I'm saying? You're working, getting up, you're going to work every day. Even if you just happen to be working hard from your own, home office. I'm just saying. But sometimes we just don't see the results right away. What could we do to manage those couple of struggle days before payday? Well, for one, there are a ton of videos ton of videos on this wonderful platform that show a lot of suggestions for struggle meals. Keeping your food bill down is really important. And if you have that emergency food stockpile, you could say thankfully, because you planned ahead, right? You could just walk into your extended pantry and go, you know what? I'm going to make a 2 or 3 ingredient dinner today. Or I'm going to make this big old pot of soup. Why and how? Because you have the ingredients. Or you could walk up to your freezer because a couple of weeks back when times were a little better. Ever notice how times are always a little better those first few days when you first get your paycheck? For those who live paycheck to paycheck, can totally understand how that feels. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those first couple days when you first get your paycheck, everything seems a lot better. That's nice. But I don't know about you. I prefer the even keel lifestyle because many times a long time ago, I used to do a comparison with a story called the fat cat and the skinny chicken. So right before payday for many folks out there, this is not a joke. This is a serious matter. People are living the skinny chicken lifestyle. But I think if we take a few action steps, you're going to hear me use these two words a lot throughout this year, action steps. Okay. Because a lot of times people kick back and say, oh, woe is me, but they don't do anything about it. And then a month later, singing the same old tired record, the woe is me record, they dusted off. It's like taking an album from yesteryear, going over to an old Victrola or phonograph, like remember back in the old days, phonographs, right? And playing the same broken record. Side A is woe is me, and side B is how come always me. No, 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 no. We need to take action steps in advance. That's why it's imperative at the when. Beginning, I'm just going to call it the beginning of the month. If your main source of income happens to be the beginning of the month, although in reality, many people's big source of income is in the middle of the month, or perhaps it comes on every alternate Friday, okay, of each calendar month. You see where I'm going with this? When times are slightly better financially, paycheck to paycheck, the beginning of paycheck, take out enough to get you through the month. Avoid unnecessary fees. For example, how many people, let's say, take out a $20 bill for the whole month as their like cash allotment? I get it. You don't want to spend the cash, and there's nothing wrong with not wanting to spend the cash. But if you spend a ton of money on an outside of your bank location, paying the $3 to $4 ATM fee more than one time in a month, that's money like literally being tossed in the garbage can. It's like, remember when you were a kid at school, you used to see some people do this. I'm sure you never did this, right? Tear out a piece of loose leaf paper, propel it into a shape of a so-called paper airplane, and just dart that airplane over to somebody's desk or wastebasket because you're bored stiff at school. We've all been there. We've all done well. I don't think I ever did that, to be honest with you. But I've seen a lot of people do that. Okay, I'm just saying the goodness, honest truth. So, but instead, as an adult, it's like taking that cash, folding it up into this make believe airplane, and going, wee, bye bye cash. See ya. Wouldn't want to be. Well, I'm not going to go there anyway. I'm just saying. But all goofing aside, we need to take action steps. One of the action steps that I need to really clarify is having a little bit of a forethought, taking that moment and just thinking ahead. Even with meals, when you're menu planning, when you're meal planning, if you have leftover, I use this as an example, it's just an easy one for me to remember. If you have leftover lasagna, right? Leftover, you're not going to let that go to waste, right? How do we let lasagna go to waste, right? But sometimes people do. They keep it in their refrigerator for days and days and days and days, and if it contains meat in it, bye bye. If you go past the 3-4 day rule, instead of that, I don't care if it's the size like a sandwich size, put that into a smaller container right away and freeze it. You'll be shocked and amazed that during those couple last squeaky days before payday, when you recognize and realize, hey, wait a minute, I have some lasagna in the freezer. Your own, by the way, homemade, the good stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That reminds me. I'm going to get a grocery haul later on this actual day that I'm recording this. Getting a grocery haul, and I don't mind that I'm going to today, prepare this. I'm going to make a nice Italian sauce. Some call it gravy. That's the way I was raised to call it. Sauce, Sunday sauce, even though it's actually on Tuesday that I'm recording this. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of my own pasta meals. I'm going to make my own because I don't want to pay $5 for someone else's frozen, overtly salted, and sugarized tomato sauce. Ew, yuck, ooh, gross. I'm sorry. Never, ever, ever was I weaned on a sugary tomato sauce. That is, to me, gross. I'd rather make it from scratch. I know it takes a minute or two, big deal. Make my own from scratch the way I like it, the right way, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Make a whole bunch of my own pasta dishes. Some will have meat in it, some will not have meat in it. Why? Because I will say this till I'm blue in the face. Food in the freezer is money in the bank, okay? And you can't go wrong when you're assembling pasta or rice dishes. Rice and pasta makes an abundance of food. So let's go back to the original problem where people seem to struggle a lot. Those couple of days before payday, get those like higher yielding foods, okay? A box of pasta can make a ton of food. A cup or two of rice can make a ton of food. Make these dishes ahead of time. They are freezable, okay? Take them down, heat them up. End of story. No one starves. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. So there are some action steps that we can take. Now, for those that did get that cost of living type of increase, I would, if it were me, take that dollar amount, whatever it is, and just put it away for an emergency situation. Maybe spend some of it towards emergency stockpiling it, and some emergency just put the cash away in an envelope. But every single month, take that number, put it away, and in a few months, you have your own at home. God forbid money if we lose power money and you need cash. How many times have you heard me say that? To always hold on to a little bit of cash. All right. There are things we could do. There are ways and there are ways. It's up to us to want to do it. That's the real issue. There's another thing that I strongly suggest that we do the following. I also strongly suggest that we do what this lady does. Stay motivated. Let's do what she does. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to take good care of yourself and your wonderful family.